Warning, the following program has been rated T for truth.
You can't handle the truth!
Oh, we think you can. Welcome to the Naked Truth Report with your host, truth warrior and mythbuster Kathleen Wells. The place where we distinguish fact from fiction, where data is used to drive points home, and where Kathleen takes the position that Democrats and black politicians have destroyed black America. Welcome to the Naked Truth Report. Now, your host, Kathleen Wells.
Welcome to the Naked Truth Report. It's me, Kathleen Wells, and guess what? I have my VIP guest in studio with me today, Toni Peral. Am I saying it right, Toni?
You are.
Yeah, it's really Antoinette, but you said today, Toni.
We're going to go, it could be Antonieta del Peral or Antoinette del Peral, but we're going to go Toni Peral.
But say it again like that. It's so romantic.
Antonieta del Peral.
Isn't that beautiful, folks? So I have my in-studio guest who is a VIP at the pre-screening of the Dinesh D'Souza film. And true to my word, my VIP guests get the option to either come into the studio and talk about what they want to talk about or just hang out and so on and so forth. And I also met Antoinette, or Toni Peral, at the Reagan Library, where Sean Spicer was the guest regarding, and he was signing his book and speaking to us. I also met you there, and in fact, I met you there the night before at the Sean Spicer event at the Reagan Library, and I asked you if you wanted to attend the pre-screening, and you had been listening to the Naked Truth Report, which is absolutely fantastic, because I love the fact that I just spontaneously met you at this one event, and you had been listening. You are a truth warrior.
Most definitely, Kathleen. I mean, when I heard your voice behind me, and I'm sitting under this 747 with about 9 other people, and I'm like, where do I know that? I go, oh my God, it's the truth warrior, the truth warriorette.
It's the truth warrior. I'm Kathleen Wells, the host of the Naked Truth Report. I was so excited to meet you, and I was so excited to meet, just coincidentally, a truth warrior at this event.
Had no idea that you were even going to be there, because I was primarily to hear and listen to Sean Spicer and see who he really was. Because, you know, we can listen to him on radio, we can listen to him and see them on television, but you just don't know. And to see him in that intimate venue and him speaking, here's an all right guy.
He's an all right guy, I think. I mean, he comes across very warm and sincere. I think a lot of people would be surprised to hear that. Well, definitely a lot of liberals and Democrats, they don't believe anything about conservatives, about Republicans. And, you know, this is the one thing that I would like to say to many liberals and Democrats. They're not listening to the show, maybe a few are, but they need to meet people. They have the perception of Republicans as conservatives as one way. This is all an image. It's all a perception. It has nothing to do with reality.
Understatement of the year. Reality?
Yeah.
They have no reality. If it's not their way, it's no way at all. That's what's so sad and crazy and ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. But so what we want, so I want to say that Toni Peral is my guest, my VIP guest in studio with me today on the Naked Truth Report. And it's a good thing, because she is going to give us a perspective that we haven't had yet on the show. The perspective of Latino Americans with regards to illegal immigration. Is that right?
That, and not only that, there's a lot of us that are Republicans and conservative. That's, you know, people assume, take it back, Democrats assume that we are Democrats, liberals. We are not. We're not crazy like, what's her face, Miss Cortez, Alejandro, or Ocasio-Cortez. Oh, my Lord. Hell no, we're not that.
You're not that. No. Well, you're a native Los Angelino, right?
Born in East Los Angeles. I grew up here in Central LA, actually close to, what's his face?
Who?
Larry.
Oh,
Larry Elder.
Larry Elder grew up in
Central L.A.,
oh,
as I did.
Like South Central
Yeah,
LA.
yeah. No, I was close there at 31st and Grand, there by Adams Figueroa, that area.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not really East LA, though, is it?
No, East LA is where I was born, but
Oh.
I grew up in Central LA,
Right.
South Central LA.
South Central LA.
Because they were Black, Hispanic. We were all there, all
Right,
together,
right.
getting along pretty well.
So you're a native, and this is your home base, yeah.
Yeah, this is my home base.
And you love America.
Not only do I love America, it speaks to my heart, my soul, and we need to, as you do, as the major Naked Truth Report person in this world, we are talking about saving our country. And this is why you, as well as I, am here talking about conservatism, why I voted for Trump. And there are a lot of Latinos that have, as well as Blacks.
Well, not that many Blacks, but it is growing.
Well, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah. In fact, the Rasmussen poll, which tends to be conservative, they say is kind of has a bias or is high. I don't know. But I think it's accurate, actually. They say that the support for Trump has risen to 36% among likely black voters. This is a Rasmussen poll, and the other polls had it less than that. But it's growing, and I think it will continue to grow because of the unemployment numbers, because of the economy. What do you say?
I heard 39% in the black vote that it's increased to. So you're right on. The Latino vote, I'm working on it. In talking to different people, when I came back here, because I was living in New York at the time, and in the early 90s, I walked all over in Santa Ana in Orange County, because that's where I live, and knocked on doors to get people involved to vote. And in the Latino community, because I do speak Spanish, it was interesting. Either they were afraid or they didn't know or they weren't interested. I don't know. It was really interesting. And at that time, I was very involved because I was looking, okay, where is the Latino community here in Orange County? Because I'd been in New York for a few years, and I was looking for those people that were, and there are so many Latinos that are conservative. Family values, their characteristics, they believe in helping family, brothers, sisters, mother, father, their beliefs, their ethics, their work ethics. Oh, my God. They're humble people. We are humble people. As I've gotten older, though, I've gotten a little louder and not as humble because I'm a fighter. I am a fighter. And just like I love how the black community is really coming together. Those gentlemen that I happened to meet at the D'Souza movie premiere, they were amazing.
They were amazing. And that's and as I said to the audience there, the four panelists that I had, it was Adrian Norman, David Harris, Brandon Tatum, who's been on the show twice, and who was the fourth one? Oh, the amazing Lucas. Yeah. You guys, listeners out there, you can check out their YouTube channels. If you weren't at the pre-screening, the names again are Brandon Tatum. I think just Google Brandon Tatum. He's been on the show twice. David Harris, the amazing Lucas, and Adrian Norman. And this is something that I would like to do. I would like, they're very engaging, they're very smart, they're very savvy, they're politically sophisticated. And, this is something that Malcolm X asked the black community to be, politically sophisticated and savvy. And that's another thing. I want to do the tour, and I've been mentioning this before, a national tour, how the Democratic Party has destroyed black America. We have been voting Democrat for 5 decades. And I'd like to know, I would like something like a commission or a study. How has Black America benefited since being with the Democratic Party? Now, Latinos have been basically Democrat also.
Well, and I think that's what's so shocking, because in their hearts and really in knowing my family's values, our work ethics, Democrats have lied. They really have, just like they have done to the black community. I mean, look at what the Democrats have done. They want open borders. This is the United States of America. We need borders. Here they propose Obamacare, the health care. What happened? The premiums went up, ridiculously up. Then welfare, that welfare program, that just, not only did it devastate the Black community as well as the Latino community, destroying the family and making them dependent on the government. That's horrible.
I mean, is the Latino family destroyed? I know the Black family is destroyed because this is a data point. During the 50s, we had 87% two-parent families, and today, after free sex/feminism and the LBJ Great Society, we are now down to 25% two-parent families. I love those data points. So what are the data points for the Latino community? I didn't know they were devastated. Would you say?
Well, I say devastated in that there is this younger group, the millennials, the ones that feel entitled, the ones that don't want to work, the ones that think that we owe them because they're not working hard. The older, I'm going to say there's the millennials, Generation X, there's those other groups. They still are in there helping the families, but at the same time, this younger generation of Latinos, and there were those activists in the 70s and the 80s. I remember all that craziness going on there, which on some of it helped, and on others it really didn't. But right now, the Latino community, certain segments, families are together. Other segments, it's like they don't care. You know, they want this for free and that for free. But I'm going to say at least 75% of the Latino families, they help each other, they work hard, they're determined, and they like money just like we do. I mean, capitalism is where it's at, not socialism.
However, like you mentioned, Alexandria or
Ocasio-Cortez. She has no common sense. Supposedly, she went to Harvard. I did go to Harvard for a class once upon a time with one of my girlfriends. And someone that was very dear to me at the time, he was teaching a class on writing. Very well-known author, Victor Villaseñor. And he taught a class there at Harvard. And it was amazing. But whatever they're teaching them, right now, the last 15 years, I'm going to say, and it's our fault for not keeping check on the education that's being taught to the kids. There are schools now, they're not even doing the Pledge of Allegiance, which is obscene. It's horrible. Plus, these colleges, I know friends, Stanford, it's so liberal and so democratic, and just so many of our universities, it's scary. It is. It's very scary right now.
Yeah, in fact, I heard something recently where I think it was Hillary said that it was in an elementary school where they don't have to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
And
Remember
that's
when we were growing
ridiculous.
up, you used to stand up and put your hand over your heart?
Yes. Yeah, and that is respect. Our parents, our grandparents, and this is what I don't understand, the Latinos that are voting Democrat, because there are so many of them that love our country, that are in the Marine Corps, in the Navy, in the Air Force, in the Coast Guard, and they love our country, but yet though they vote Democrat, I don't get it, but they are loyal and incredible people, hardworking, and humble, very humble.
So what is the Latino, this is a generalization, you're going to be generalizing, but generally, what does the Latino American community feel about illegal immigration?
As a whole, and they won't talk about it out loud because just like right now, if you go to a restaurant, if you're a conservative, you get things ostracized, things thrown at you. But deep down, and they're conservative. They don't understand. And I think what's so wrong right now, because the stuff that they see out there, media, it's so stuck to CNN, to MSNBC, all this other stuff that's so far left. I mean, even like the other day, Twitter admitted they're left-leaning because the president had said something about it. So, but they are very conservative. Not only are they conservative...
But what does that mean? How do they feel about illegal immigration specifically? What does that mean when you say they're conservative?
Well,
I know you can't speak for all of them.
We'll put it this way. Cesar Chavez
wanted
legal immigration.
Right.
Because any of the illegal immigration, it lowers the price of workers, of their income.
Suppresses wages, yes.
Understatement.
Right.
Not only does it do that, the taxation that goes on, the schools are getting crowded and more crowded. This illegal immigration, no, they don't like it either. But for them to say it out loud, they would definitely get ostracized. Illegal immigration is really bad overall for all of us.
For all
Black,
Americans.
Latinos,
For
Asian.
all Americans.
For all Americans.
Yes.
And
The
like,
data is clear. That's
the data is clear.
Yeah.
But they're afraid to say anything. It's like the Democrats, they thought Hillary was going to win that night, and I was up till 3, 4 in the morning watching all the preliminaries and all the voting coming in. They definitely voted that way, or we wouldn't have had President Trump. He came at a perfect moment at the perfect time. The illegal immigration situation, what's the crazy part is now they're allowing, as you talked about it just a little bit ago, San Francisco. Well, no, another friend, I'm sorry, they were talking about that. They're allowing them to vote.
in the school board.
Yeah, and this is crazy. They're not American citizens.
Right.
And I think that's the part that's scary, because now, no matter you're an American citizen, Latino, you're going to be considered, they're illegal, but they're getting to vote and they're getting to do this and do that. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Well, it's a slippery slope. And even here in I think it's Highland Park, they had an illegal immigrant. I'm not sure if it was Highland Park, but some area they had an illegal.
Huntington Park.
He was sitting on a commission.
Yeah, that was wrong.
It's a slippery slope. You can just see them creeping. The creep is in. So.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah,
we hate that.
We hate that.
We hate that.
So I'm so proud. I mean, how did you find the Naked Truth Report, Toni? How did you find us?
Well, I am a junkie when it comes to talk radio.
Yeah.
And Dennis Prager, Larry Elder, and I was I was home on a Sunday late in the evening, and I get sick and tired of some of the stuff on television, so I turned on the radio, and you were on, and I was like, oh my God, she's talking to me.
Oh, wow. Isn't that
because,
exciting?
here minorities, we don't always have such a great voice out there.
That's true.
On Fox News,
That's true.
there's only a few. Well, there are Latinas there, and there are Black
but it's
women.
not like me.
But it's not like me.
It needs to be. Well, no, I love this Candace Owens. I think of Candace Owens as like the daughter I never had.
Okay.
Because she talks the way
She's
I would
adorable.
just tell it straight.
Tell it
instead
straight.
of equivocating and soft.
Exactly. And
Soft shoeing or soft pedaling or
soft pedaling.
Yeah, tell it straight.
And me, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I am a fighter.
Yeah.
I just will not put up with any nonsense. And I know sometimes my sisters and some of my friends says, calm down. But you have to be a fighter, especially now. I mean, that's one reason I voted for Trump, and a lot of other Latinos did, because we needed somebody to stand up and, we have to fight. We have to fight for our country.
For America.
For America.
And, that's something that you mentioned before to me. You say that illegal immigrants do not assimilate. They still speak Spanish. This is a problem. Folks, one of the sponsors of the show is Pro English. And in fact, I was in Albertsons, and they were, the two clerks were speaking Spanish. I said, this is so rude. It is very rude to speak Spanish when we speak English.
Well,
English is the language in the country. But they don't, some people don't understand that. It's rude to speak another language in front of people that don't understand the language. This is rude.
Well, when I came back from New York to move back here to Orange County, my thing was that, and I was working with an organization there in Orange County on voting participation at that time in the early 90s. And I belonged to a couple of other Latino groups because I wanted to see where their heads were at. And that was the thing I was pushing as well. English, please. This is America, and I think that's what's so hurtful. The illegal immigrants as well as other immigrants, they are not assimilating, and the schools are not asking for it. They don't have civic classes anymore. And English, there have been the prejudices here in the United States. Those are the good, bad, and ugly parts of our country, but All countries do. We're only human. But I know my dad, he would not allow us to speak Spanish because we saw the problems with our cousins and some of our other family members. So when I was 10, then we could start practicing to speak Spanish. And it worked. You know, you're in America, you do as American. You're in France, or as they say, as Romans do. Yes, as
That's
Romans
right.
do.
I mean, in other words, we're not a salad bowl. This is what Stephen Gustav with Pro English said. We're a melting pot. But this is what we learn when you have millions of people who don't speak English. They have their conclaves, their little areas where it's not necessary.
And I understand that part.
But it's not understandable. This is why our policy makers are betraying the American people.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah, they're betraying the American people.
Because this is America.
Yeah.
You know, the assimilation of our culture, we're losing it. Not only are we losing it, English should be number one. And boy, did I get ostracized when I came here back in the early 80s, early 90s. And they go, no, you should be. I said, yes, but English is our language. This is America.
Yeah, it's like we have to, like American citizens now have to accommodate non-English speaking people. And people have called into this show and even said, oh, you know, to get a job, you have to speak Spanish. Because, see, numbers matter. You know, numbers matter. And now there's so many. There are over 1.3 million illegal aliens in, I've been saying illegal immigrants. No,
illegal aliens.
I know.
That is the correct word.
I know. I always make that mistake because, you know.
No, not you. Everybody else.
Yeah.
Because they made us
in the media,
us to say that.
They forced us to say that. But they're
no.
illegal aliens. There are 1.3 approximately illegal aliens in Los Angeles. And
I think there's more.
You think there's
more?
more?
Hell yes.
Why do you think more?
Oh, my God. I've gone to downtown LA. I've gone to the different barrios and neighborhoods, and that's all they're doing is speaking English. I mean, here...
I mean Spanish.
Spanish, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just get so... No, the thing is, it just like there was the Chamber of Commerce in East LA ostracizing this cafe owner that was opening up a nice, beautiful coffee shop and was upset because he wasn't of Spanish or Mexican origin. And it was ridiculous. And the Chamber of Commerce there in East LA was like condemning this guy for doing what he was doing. It was ridiculous. I mean, the Latinos need to be open. LA is growing, but at the same time, you know, be respectful and learn English. Learn the American way. Yes, you can have your traditions, which they do in all the other ethnic groups, but learn English and be of America. Like I said, the ones that are in uniform, military uniform, serve our country and serve our country proudly. There are so many Latinos that do, but yet, though, they vote Democrat. I don't get it, Kathleen.
Well, no, they've been bamboozled and brainwashed by the Democratic Party. It's just a traditional thing. But they need to learn. You know, many are learning and opening up and evolving and understanding. It's coming to an understanding. And programs like this help, I think. We need to be honest. Honesty is important. Truth is a value. Truth is a value.
Yes.
Have the value of truth. Right? So what was I going to say is that, this is one thing that gets me hot under the collar is that Black Americans have been pushed out of all their neighborhoods. We've been here forever. We've been pushed out of Watts and Compton and Inglewood and everywhere else. And yet when a Black person goes to Boyle Heights to live, it's like, get out.
I know.
See,
what is that about? That is double standard, and what the hell is wrong with them?
It's not kosher.
It's not. I remember there was a situation at a junior high school, and it was so cute. My sister, one of her girlfriends, told me the story. It's like, let's get along. And that is what we need to do. It's like, stop all this nonsense. The Black community, Latino community, we need to work in harmony. I think that's why we're green. Green is harmony. Peace. I mean,
but human nature is human nature, and you have to understand. Culture matters, and the culture is American culture.
Yes.
If you come here, and you know, people's identity is specific to their group. So the issue is this: do not, if you are, how do I want to put it? You are not being fair to other groups if you're you're being discriminatory and unfair to other groups, if you're being biased and prejudicial to other groups, if you're somehow have a different standard.
I know.
Yeah.
It's with the illegal immigration, they want to wheel and deal and do what they did. Then go back to Mexico, go back to Romania.
Right. Yeah.
There's people coming over from all these other countries.
Right.
It's crazy.
Okay, I hear my music. Hi, this is Kathleen Wells with the Naked Truth Report, and my in-studio VIP guest is Toni Peral. She's my VIP in-studio guest. If you'd like to call in and speak with Miss Peral, if you have a question, feel free to call. The phone number is not up on the board. My engineer is Jeff. He's my new engineer. But you guys know the number. They're gonna say it at the break. And there's my song. We're in America, folks. Los Angeles is becoming like Tijuana, and it's not a good thing. I don't want to live.
It is not a good thing.
I don't want to live in Tijuana. Do you?
No, I want to live in America. I want to live in L.A. like it used to be.
I want L.A. the way it used to be.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back.
And you know, when I was in school, we used to sing it something like this. Listen here. Oh. Beautiful, for heroes proved in liberating strife. Who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life.
Gosh, I love that. I love Ray Charles, and I love this song. America. It's so beautiful. Anything Ray Charles sings is good, but this is beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
We love America because we have so many opportunities here. We love America because we've had so many opportunities here.
We do.
Yes. I mean, when I think back on my life, I think about all the opportunities I had. I think about I think about my school. I think about being able to go to college.
I was one of the first Latinas for Continental Airlines, flying as a flight attendant, and that was my dream.
I mean, can you imagine? I mean, I remember working. I mean, I've worked everywhere. I've worked in San Francisco. I've worked in New York. I've worked in Beverly Hills. I've done everything. I've done everything in America that you could possibly want. Me, yeah. That's why I say I am the, quintessential California girl is supposed to be blonde and blue-eyed, but she's also me.
And she's also me.
She's also a black woman, and she's also a Latina. Do you understand, folks? I mean, I went to UCLA and Berkeley. Those are like quintessential California schools. I could not go to Uganda and have these opportunities. That's just the truth, folks. So if you don't take advantage, that's on you. But
exactly.
It starts with the family. See, I had those opportunities because of my family, I think. The understanding that they gave me. My mom and dad gave me an understanding.
Which was wonderful. So many don't.
Yeah, and see, the Democratic Party has destroyed the black family. Because we now have only 25% two-parent families. Anyway, the call-in number is 866-870-5752. I'm speaking with my in-studio VIP guest, Toni Peral.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
In the other way is Antonieta del Peral, but Toni Peral, that works.
That sounds so romantic. You're not married. You need to get a husband.
I do.
No, I didn't mean that. But anyway.
That's okay. No, I would love another.
You would love a husband?
Yeah.
Okay,
Antonieta
would love a husband. If anyone is out there is interested, she's open to the idea.
Not today. We're doing this show, which is important for our country. I think right now, this is so important that the Latino community stand up, vote conservative, and that will be the Republican Party. I know maybe you don't understand it, but you have been so brainwashed with CNN and the Democratic liberals. They don't do a damn thing for you. They really don't. If anything, they've screwed everything up.
And you can look at the black community as an example. So Latino community out there in Los Angeles, California, get out there and vote during the midterms election.
Please.
Support Trump. Come to an understanding. Support Trump. Okay, why don't we take a phone call now from Jose in East LA. Hi, Jose.
Hello, Jose.
Hey, how you doing? This is Jose from the mean streets of East LA. How you doing? How are you?
Órale pues, hombre. ¿Cómo estás?
I'm calling you right here from Salazar Park, right here in East LA.
I love
Listen,
it.
The reason that I'm calling is this. There's, and I hate to say this because I'm Latino, I'm Mexican, I'm an American citizen, and I'm a Republican. And I came out of the Libertarian Party, okay?
Okay.
But when I was in high school, I was indoctrinated into Marxism. And when I graduated high school, I was basically endowed with the mentality that I was entitled to free everything, free healthcare, free education, free everything. The white man has robbed us, and we got to take it back from the white man, this and that, okay? I was heavily indoctrinated until I got a job, started working, paying taxes, and I saw the deductions on my paycheck. That knocked the communism right out from me, okay, early. And then I became a libertarian and then a Republican. But the reason that I'm saying this is that right now, as we speak, there is a strong romance between Latino youth and Marxism.
I know.
Okay?
It's scary.
They either don't understand what Marxism is or they do understand. I think they do understand what Marxism is because I did understand what Marxism was when I was young. The problem is when they become older kids and they still believe in the free lunch theory and everything else. And I try to explain this to some of the so-called immigrant people here that are upset with Trump. I tell them, listen, it's not about, Republicans not wanting immigrants. It's just that we don't want Marxist immigrants.
Correct.
We don't want to have further Marxist immigration. In other words, immigrants come in and then they vote for the party that promotes Marxism.
Right.
Which is wrong, but
down, the road of Valenzuela. And I explain this to these people. Look, if you guys, like in 84 when Reagan did the amnesty, and if the Mexican community would have voted for the Republicans and we would have had, that windfall, and we would have had better control of our economy, then guess what? Like the Cuban people, they get, that wet foot policy where they set 1 foot here on U.S. soil and they get an automatic green card. But what the Cuban community does is that they vote Republican, but most of all, they actually are the most hardest core capitalists you could meet, a Cuban, okay?
Yes.
They hate communism with a passion. Now, there's some exceptions to that rule, but for the most part, if you meet a Cuban and you talk to them about Marxism, oh my God, they'll go irate on you, okay? Because they've experienced Marxism, okay? So I try to explain this to the immigrant people that the reason the Republican Party has taken this stand is not so much because of the hatred of immigrants, it's the hatred of Marxism.
No, it's the hatred of being illegal. You come, listen, black men have to obey by the law. All Americans have to obey by the law. We have laws in this country for a reason. Americans do not think that people can come to the country illegally. That's just the bottom line.
That's true. No, that's true. They have to get in line. Like my father was a cement mason. He migrated. My mother and I came here at 6 months old with a green card, and I became a citizen when I was 19. That's how you do it.
That is, Jose, that is how you do it. And so many, I don't know why they think that they don't need to do it, but they need to become Americans.
Well, Marxism don't believe in borders. So
that's true.
Go back to the Marxist ideology. They believe in a world workers party. Okay?
Workers unite. Yeah. Well, that's not happening.
They don't believe in borders.
No, they don't
understand borders. They don't understand law, because it's fascist law. In other words, they discount the law completely.
They do.
So you got to understand where they get this, and what do you call it?
Ideology.
They get their entitlement from the Marxist ideology. Mm-hmm. But we don't educate our own on this ideology.
Well, that is your B. Yeah, because unfortunately in our schools right now, especially in the Latino community, they're giving them free this, free that. And I'm sorry, if these families are having all these children and they're illegally, I'm sorry, they shouldn't be having all these children. They should be making their breakfast for them at home. They should be putting their lunch together for them at home to take to school and vice versa. And yet, though, I don't understand what the politicians here, the assemblymen and all these guys in L.A. Voting, they need these meals, they need that meal. They don't need that.
We're importing poverty, and if you cannot afford breakfast for your child, you're not a worthy parent.
When I was growing up, aliens have health care, too.
And that's that's super
got
wrong.
Voted in the healthcare, illegal aliens.
Well, no, they have everything because I even substituted in the public school district, and they get their teeth done, their dentist, and they get medical care for the kids. They get everything free. They get breakfast, lunch, and some schools even give dinner. But thank you, Jose, for calling in.
Thank you, Jose, so very much for listening to The Naked Truth here.
Okay, we're going to take a call from Pat now in Sunland. Hi, Pat.
Hi, Kathleen. Listen, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Hello, Hello, Pat.
Hello. I listen to you every week.
Thank you.
I wanted to say that program is coming up in September at the Alex Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you were going to have a table?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have a booth there.
Okay.
And also, let's see, it's September 16th. In fact, my promo will start. This is the Town Hall 2018, and Mark Levin will be there. You guys want to come. This is the big event for AM 870.
Right.
Larry Elder, Mark Levin, Michael Medved, Hugh Hewitt, Dennis Prager.
And Sheriff Dave Clark as well.
Right.
Right. Yeah. But I just wanted to say, be sure you take some registration forms with you, because I've been in the political field long enough, and even if the place is packed, probably 10% of them aren't registered, believe me.
Really?
You think?
Oh, yes.
Well, that's crazy.
There are a lot of people walking around, and you say, I had one the other day. And she said, well, I'm not registered.
Oh, my
God.
God.
I took the form. But anyway, I just wanted to say, you, Kathleen, take this guest of yours with you to that.
Oh, well, she's going already.
I'm going to go, Pat, for sure. I'm already signed up, sealed, and it's actually the day after my birthday.
Oh well.
Well, why do you say take her with me? Is she persuasive?
Oh, I won't get into all of that. You two girls. Anyway, that's all I want to say.
No, but I can't, Pat, listen, I can't imagine people going to a KRLA AM 870, The Answer event, which is a political station, not being registered to vote.
I know. I'm
shocked.
shocked.
Imagine that.
I used to go to the Republican meetings years ago. I used to go to the rallies up here. And you cannot believe the people that aren't registered that don't vote, even though they go. A lot of them like the free food, those kind of things. But there are a lot of people that are not. So you tell them, listen, this is your money that you're voting for. And it is.
It is our money. I think that's what the Democrats forget. It's our money. They keep wanting to use it and spend it, and not even wisely. They have no common sense.
Right, but you just try to think of something that hits them personally in the pocketbook or whatever, that they better register, because I always say, well, if you don't want to vote for the president, the tax issues are coming up. Prop 13 is coming up again on the ballot. And I mean, your water taxes, this tax, that tax, and your rent will be raised or your taxes will be raised. And if you can turn it into their mind, if they've got one, I mean, and do it. But anyway.
Yeah. And I think the repeal of the gas tax is on the.
Yeah, it is. It is on this ballot. Yeah.
And I see that Newsom has come out for it in today's Times.
What?
So that should make people wake up a little bit.
Yeah, and listen, Truth Warriors out there, we're talking about the midterm elections, which are coming up in November. It's important that we all get out there and vote. With regards to Dianne Feinstein, and I think her running mate is Kevin DeLeon, we're going to, because there's no Republican on that ticket, right?
True.
There's one thing you got to remember. De Leon wrote the Sanctuary State bill. I don't want to vote for Feinstein, but I'm pushing her button, even though they've brought out all this Chinese stuff about her lately.
Right.
I know.
Still got my vote, and I'm telling all my Republican friends, you better do it, because if he gets elected and he teams up with Kamala Harris, it's going to be hell to pay back there.
You're right. The sanctuary city nonsense is ridiculous. I live in Orange County, and we're fighting this, and all the cities should be fighting this. This is wrong, wrong, wrong.
Well, he's got the sanctuary state.
I know, and I hate it.
All of them.
I hate it. So many of us, Latino, Black, Caucasian, all these Californians, there's a lot of us that hate it, but, they're like, oh, my God, upset. I better be quiet right now before I burn a fuse here.
Okay.
Pat, thank you very much. Are you going to be at Town Hall 2018?
Well, if I can get a ride down there. I don't like to drive in Glendale anymore, so.
Yeah. Oh, Glendale isn't as bad as L.A.
No, I know that, but still, I'm older than you think, and so I don't. I used to drive in Glendale when it was nice and quiet. You could drive down there.
Yeah.
Walk on the street.
Right.
There wasn't 6,000 apartment buildings up in the air.
Right. Everything changed. Look at it. It's overcrowded, right?
Right. I've had my days, so that's it. I used to, on Sunday afternoon, I would take a drive down to the airport. Mm-hmm. Now, that shows you how old I am. It was quiet to go down there to the airport and drive around and whatever. So,
Well, I hope to see you, and if you do come, I hope you get a ride, and if you do come by my table.
Oh, I will.
I really appreciate it, Pat. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Pat.
Okay, so, we have talked about, this is one quote that I want to say. I got this from Rush Limbaugh. The quote is, "Good intentions is the camouflage of the left of all their failures." Good intentions is the camouflage of the left for all their failures. That's absolutely right. We know that the Democratic Party has failed Black America. All you have to do is drive through any city.
Oh my God.
All you have to do is know the data point is that we only have 25% two-parent families, and the family is the most important institution in society. This is the
understatement of the year.
It's the most important institution in society. And when when you've been with a party for 5 decades, and when you get out of that party, or at the end of the day, you see that you only have 25% two-parent families, you've been destroyed, folks. I don't know why most Black folks, the Black folks that you talk to today, these young folks who are in their 30s and 40s, they think it's normal to have a single, it's like normal.
It's so sad. It's so sad. It's horrible. But before that other part, one other thing I wanted to get to about the Latino community, when they vote, they're voting economically, and they got to quit that. They've got to vote more with the values of our country, meaning our country, if we don't vote the conservative way, it is going to be, like Jose said, Marxist, socialist. Socialism does not work. Look at Venezuela and even in Sweden, Bernie
and
Sanders.
Brazil.
Bernie Sanders is saying, oh, how wonderful, socialism is free this, free that. It's not true. And Latinos need to vote not economically, but with a passion to conservatism.
But how, when you say they're voting economically, how is that?
Well, because they think they're going to get free this, free that. What the Democrats are telling them, you'll get the free college, you're going to get this free. That's why I think they get sucked into that nonsense about free. And Marxists, like Jose was talking about, that is what they do. They give them all these free things, and then they kind of step in line to vote the socialist way. That's what he was talking about, the millennials. They think they should get everything free, and that we owe them health care. We owe them this outrageous minimum wage nonsense. It's not true.
So they were getting free college, these illegal aliens? Yes, they were.
Yes.
That's what DACA was about.
Of course.
Okay, hello, American citizens. Did you hear that? these illegal aliens were getting free college.
And look at all the ones that are in debt because of their college education.
Well, it wasn't free then if they're in debt.
No, a lot of the American students that have.
Oh yeah, have
that's what I'm talking
about.
Yeah.
Huge and they had free school, they had free dental. These illegal kids, they had free school, free public school, free breakfast, free lunch, free dental, free medical on our dime.
Yes.
Hello.
Our taxes.
On our taxes. It's not, and I know because I substitute taught at the schools. And the dentist would come in and take care of their teeth, and they got free football gear, violin, free. You know, my mother had to get up and make my breakfast when I went to school. Okay, if you cannot afford to give your child breakfast, you're not a worthy parent. Okay, that's the bottom line.
And I think this should be over with. They need to speak English. They need to support themselves. That's how we did. We did it for us. Less government. Work hard, benefit from your hard work. Capitalism, that's what that's about, to making money.
Well, if they're illegal, they shouldn't be here.
And that's
they need to go back home. There are other places, there are little towns and cities in Mexico and in Central America where it's very safe. So they're taking advantage of America, and Americans don't appreciate it. If you're illegal, you got to go. Anyway, this is a tribute to Aretha Franklin. Yes! I love Aretha Franklin. I love this song, okay? And I'm so grateful for my in-studio VIP guest, Toni Peral. Did I say
Toni Peral?
Toni Peral. And don't forget to attend the AM 870 KRLA Town Hall 2018, September 16th. This is my love song to my truth warriors who have deep roots in Los Angeles, deep roots in California, and deep roots in America. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.